So there are many burning issues that are now happening within the CA fraternity among all the CA students. For the first time in the May exams, approximately 4.7 lakh students are going to write, which is a very fantastic news. The May exam at all levels of CS, close to 5 lakh students, I can say. Highest ever in the history of the CA exam. And now, today, the disappointment is exam dates were not postponed. From same 2nd May, final exam commences, and the same 3rd May, CA inter exam commences, where every student has expected typically that exams will postpone because of the results, but it is not. I personally felt there are many students whose examination center is in some other city where elections are happening in their villages or towns or cities where they ordinarily reside. For them, for the purpose of voting, if they have to vote, it is highly impossible having this exam. There are only two options for them. One, either skip the exam and then go and vote, or skip the vote and go and write the exam, which I feel is not at all correct, which institute have done from this context. But I don't know why they have not considered this elections and voting, all that, because most of the CA inter students and final students are of course majors, and many of them are having voting power, and we know how important in a democracy the power of a vote. So we have to really push this issue to the institute top management council. We don't know exactly why they have not postponed, in spite majority of the students are having voting, they have voting right. So in spite why they didn't postpone, I didn't understand. It's not about exam class date, it's not about clashing with election. So that's a very small issue. As a fundamental citizen of India, we all have to vote. It's our right and it's our duty also, both. Getting it? So this is something which they need to seriously consider. So if possible, I don't encourage this, but this is high time for everyone, where we sincerely have to request the institute to consider this. We don't know. See, why they did not postpone the exam? Is it because the centers were not available from the June month? Because new education policy, something I heard, new educational policy is going to be implemented from the next year or that next year. I don't know if it is from the coming academic year. I don't know. And moreover, most of the schools and colleges will be commencing in the June month. Maybe they might have not agreed. I'm just telling 5% possibility, 5% possibility. I don't know exactly what is the reason behind it. But right to vote, duty to vote is a fundamental right which every one of us have to exercise, no matter where are we. So we even have seen movies where many actors and all come from abroad and then vote in India. Yes or no? So I think ICA has to consider. For this, you can use hashtags and share it to the institute, postpone exams and right to vote. You just use the word right to vote. Getting it? Duty to vote. Duty to vote. I want to exercise my vote. I want to exercise vote. So some kind of hashtag, common hashtags. So if you use these hashtags and tweet or in Instagram, wherever it is. But I'm telling you, by the way, there is no guarantee that exams will be postponed just because you are all protesting. So in a day, 5 to 10 minutes, dedicate time for this for next 1 week. 5 to 10 minutes. If at all you're sitting on this and wasting your time, if at all by worst chance, institute have not even postponed the exams later on, we cannot do anything. Unnecessarily you're wasting your attempt. 99.99% fix in your mind that exams will not be postponed in order to exercise our right, getting it, to vote of our favorite political candidate, whatever, getting it. In order to exercise your vote, you just have to do this trial. Now, which is most important? One student questioned in a Telegram group, is it about my future which is important or my exam which is important? Both are important. Getting it? So he wants to vote and he's staying at one village, whereas his exam center is in another location. And nearby his village, there is no examination center also, where he need to travel 3 hours, considering exam date. It's impossible for him, obviously. So we need to consider all these kinds of genuine cases. That's one issue which I want to talk. And another issue, in CA inter audit, in the MTP, correct or incorrect questions were removed. And we know, right, most of the students ignoring the ultimate issue and focusing on that petty issue. Okay, correct or incorrect questions removed. Okay, what's wrong? How does it affect your preparation, man? Why are you focusing on this? Many are asking me, sir, character in questions were removed. What should I do now? What you will do? Do you think your preparation pattern, preparation strategy, the way you understand the concept changes? If they are not testing directly, they may test in the form of MCQs itself. And most importantly, I was waiting for one question at least from one student. Sir, MTPs this time were completely different from the history. Nobody messaged that. Everybody is revolving around this useless issue. Okay, if correct or incorrect is removed, they'll ask a descriptive question. You will write descriptive answer. That's it. The nature of the subject, the way you prepare, it will not affect, right? Why are you focusing on this issue? Because people don't know what to highlight. They are highlighting this. Come on, MTP, you see the questioning pattern. Look at the MCQs. Look at the way they designed the questions. It's completely different from how they were asking in the previous attempts or previous MTPs. Nobody recognized that. So I just want to share these two issues. One at CA Inter and one at complete entire CA fraternity, entire CA students, what they are facing. So I sincerely hope Institute will reconsider this. But of course, even in the latest notification released on 19th March today, they even mentioned that there will not be any further postponement even if the government declared it as a public holiday on a particular day. So there will not be any postponement. That's so Institute's stand is very clear. But why they have taken this decision in spite of these issues, in spite of election, in spite of all these issues, we are not sure. We don't know. Maybe they'll come up specifically and explain why they didn't consider postponement. If at all, they at least give an explanation. Many of the students, whatever they feel negative and whatever negative thoughts they have about the institute, I think to some extent we can, reduce it. So we can mitigate it. So unnecessarily, many students are feeling negative about the institute. We don't know exactly what went through, what they are going through, what really happened exactly. Just based on 1 or 2 election dates and all, they'll not think like this. There is some other issue there would have been. So what exactly the issue? I think if they specifically come up and explain, that would be very good, if at all, if they are not considering postponement further. Okay, fine. All of you, please focus on your studies. Now there will be many who will be triggering you to start campaigning, to start all this, like riots and all kind of in social media wars and all. People will be triggering you, all that. Never do that. Focus on your studies. You still have, I'm telling you, you still have 40 days time. One group, you can at least secure pass mark if you study properly. I hope you have already gone through some reasonable preparation. Now, without wasting time, at least focus on single group. Kindly do your duty. This all protesting, campaigning, all that you can do. But dedicate not more than 10 minutes in a day. It may be in the form of a discussion or it may be in the form of a tweet, whatever. Don't dedicate more than 10 minutes. Your time is most valuable now. If you delay it today, you are not just delaying 10-15 days or 20 days. You are going to delay by 6 months your success. You are going to delay your success by 6 months. Kindly do not involve in all these kinds of issues. As I told, if at all you want to protest, you can just share like this, hashtags and all. So some common hashtag every one of you fix and then do it. But again, I'm telling you, don't give so much attention to this issue. If you start giving so much attention to this issue, you will be losing your track from your preparation. As a whole, it will affect badly your career. Getting it? Very important. Every attempt is important. 6 months is not an easy thing. I know you may say, sir, next time onwards, ICA is bringing three attempts in a year. Keep that aside. They have not yet implemented, right? They announced it, but they have not yet implemented. Okay. So do well. All the very best.